Alright guys, Dragnell here, and we're back with more Doom Eternal. We are moving on to Mission 2, Exultia. But first, we make a pit stop to the Fortress of Doom.
I do not have the means to locate the second Hell Priest. Your celestial locator is missing a component. We will need a replacement. I've completed the redesign of your equipment launcher. The flame belch is now ready for your approval.
Alright. So, I'm gonna get the crystals, I'm gonna get the stuff. I'll probably get the collectibles just to show you how to get them as you can get them. We're also going to be getting the Unmaker. Yeah, the Unmaker is an Eternal. So yeah. So what we're going to do first, we're going to reduce the cooldown of the Flame Belch. We're going to get health first. Alright, so really, we don't have much we can do right now. We have to move on. But we can listen to this.
This is an ARC broadcast. There are reports coming out of the quarantined Hellified zone near the San Andreas Chasm. Satellite imagery show what ARC personnel believe to be the legendary Doomslayer himself fighting the mortally challenged. The Doomslayer, or Doom Guy as he is sometimes referred to, was thought to be a myth of the Resistance, a sort of avenging angel. He was last reported to be seen on Mars, and is allegedly responsible for the destruction of the Argent Tower there. He disappeared soon afterwards. The UAC continues to deny all reports of his existence. We will continue to broadcast new information as we receive it.
Alright. Just getting rid of those. Alright, let's go. Alright, on to Exultia. To put an end to the demonic consumption of Earth, the Hell Priests must be eliminated. Following the death of Deeg Nilox, the remaining 2 Hell Priests have gone missing. You must return to Exultia, forsaken city of Sentinel Past, to acquire the device necessary to locate the remaining priests and save Earth. Alright. Here we go. Yeah, there is a extra life below where you spawn in. So just... Okay, there we go. Jesus. Alright. Alright, there's a codex entry to the left. Alright, Exultia. Translation from the Ligra Septuaginta, Book of Kings. What treachery comes from our darkest selves, driven by greed and want, for I have been deceived by the Deeg. They came north with I, the priests, as allies to our cause against the Conmaker and her unscrupulous methods. Their silvery tongues wagging, they laid a plan for us, and sowed the seed of desire for hasty triumph. They claimed knowledge of the Maker's source of power in the demon realm, a vast foundry of souls where the innocent are put to the fire for the essence. And the foundry's destruction of our victory is assured, they told us, and the fools that we were, that I am, believed their lies. On their word, we sent the Doomslayer and the Night Sentinels to destroy the foundry, and the priests cast a gate for their egress. As the last veteran entered the demon's empire, our final hope of reclaiming our dominion, the Deeg closed path and left them stranded. They were trapped, lost in the eternal void by the action of the traitors. How could I not see their intention? Am I blinded by grief for the loss of Terrace Nabad and my people? We have fled again, with barely a legion of the Night Sentinels left to protect us. The Deeg are gone. Return to their mistress. May the Wraiths forgive my failure. Alright. So, we go this way. We'll read about them in a second, because we got one more thing that we gotta fight. Give me that eyeball. Alright, there is armor right here. Alright. Alright. We got a few things to read about. The gargoyle. Like their imp brethren, the gargoyle is an agile, relentless pack hunter. Native to the Sentinel world, this beast has plagued the Sentinel Guard for centuries. As one of the few demon breeds that could bypass the walled defenses of Sentinel Prime, the gargoyle could appear without warning and claim hapless townspeople before disappearing into the Westland. Only the most skilled marksmen of the Night Sentinels could intercept this aerial threat, a peril which demanded an ever-vigilant watch over the city's perimeter. Alright. Yep, so we get Blood Punch. There's an extra life right there, and I'll show you how to get it. So we actually can't get it right now. All right. So I'd like to get this one first. That's how I can slow down just a little bit so that I can, if I need a second to get a weak point, I have this. Alright. And there's the extra life. Alright, we're going to go here first. You can't see it really, but it's there. The Arachnotron toy. So yep, there we go. Yep, that was the Hell Knight. Alright. Alright, let's go read about it real quick. Alright. Hell Knight. The Hell Knight, warrior beast among demons, has earned its place over the millennia in service of the eternal archdemons. As imposed by the sovereign houses, Hell Knights have long served as barbaric enforcers of the Netherworld, impelling lesser demons by way of brutality. Rare among demonkind for its innate regard for primal orders of hierarchy, the Hell Knight exhibits adherence to the prevailing role of its demon lord masters, requiring little compulsion on behalf of its highborn masters. Hell Knights readily serve the elder Hell Gods for the extent of their lifespans, reaping great satisfaction in the way of war and desecration. Alright. Right. Right, there we go. Alright, so yeah. Let's do that one, and then let's do this one. Alright. Alright, so we cannot go that way just yet. We need something first. Well, we have to go this way, but we can't go that way yet. Alright, so turn around, go this way, get the Codex entry. The wolf. Argenta legends speak of sentinel beasts, loyal creatures that lived as companions of the hardened warriors. Often larger, swifter, and stronger than others of their kind, these animals shared instincts with their masters and aided them in battle. The Night Sentinels never shared publicly the origin of these creatures, for only they stood worthy of them. Alright, so climb the wall. Come up here. We're gonna grab that. Alright. On top of this one. Follow it around to here. Get back on. And we get off here. History of the Sentinels, Part 1. Translation from the Book of Kings. In the days before man first spoke, an immense shard of rock and metal was cast into the world from the heavens. Thunder and cataclysm shook the land as the skies were torn asunder. Cosmic spear cleft a hole through our mortal lands, pole to pole, from the cold wastes of the Umbral Plains to the fetid swamps of Ironfang. The womb of the world opened, and the elemental wraiths, the firstborn, spilled forth. They took to the skies, fierce in their emancipation. In their exultation, they brought vitality to the land, and all that felt their breath were awakened from eternal slumber. Fierce beasts in an unforgiving biosphere rose in the passing of their shadow as the wraith call echoed across Argentinor. First came the ancestrals, feral creatures invigorated by the magic of the wraiths. They grew to enormous heights, mighty behemoths who waged war with each other for years untold. Their battles tore the land asunder and destroyed all creation caught in their wake. The wraith call continued to spread across the land, and soon the Argenta emerged from the steppes, our souls stirred into form by the power of their breath. The Titans towered over the wild-blooded tribes, but found them uncowed. The secret of the sword was discovered, and in the darkness of sweltering mountain forges, we beat still until it was strong enough to pierce bone and sever flesh. Thus we came to be, born of rock and fire, lowly in birth, but risen by the strength of our will. By the blessedness of the first ones, we forged sword and shield and took the hammer to the ancestrals. We claimed dominion of creation by right of blood and magic, and the time of man came to be. With the ancestral beasts driven back to their bleak valleys, we rose. We tilled the fertile land and husbanded beasts of burden and built towering cities. In the hallowed palace, on the obsidian throne, we crowned King Ormero, the Father, the first of the line that shall reign in perpetuity. Ormero. That is an anagram of Romero. Also, John Romero. Yeah. We built the Cathedral of Reflection to worship the first ones and form the Order of the Dig, whose priests pay tribute to the wraiths and appease their tempestuous hunger. Our sons and daughters chose the path of the sword or the path of the alchemist, for each duty honors the gods. Though our ways were righteous, we were not without strife. Storms and great quakes cast our spires down. Barbaric tribes laid siege to our fields in search of the great gifts Mother Argenta had bestowed upon our world, and the song of the wraith call threatened to drive lesser men into madness. We were not lesser men. We defended that which the first ones gifted to us, our lands and right to the bounty held within. We beat back the barbarian hordes and hardened our resolve. We rose above the fire, our bodies and souls tempered, and an unbreakable will was shaped in the forged battle. What emerged was the heart of our legion, the Order of the Night Sentinels. Right, and those lift up. And now, we get our dash. Alright. Yeah, so now we go this way. You can also just dash into the wall.
Kill the priests. You know our laws. Despite their transgressions against the Covenant, they are still of Sentinel blood. What you interfere with now is bigger than you can imagine. It is written. It is their time to give penance. If you continue, you will bring down the heavens' wrath. You are but one man. They are no longer your people to save.
You're right. Let's go. Oh, a little fun fact. Daisy! Gulp. I love that gulping noise. It's freaking fantastic, man. Can I just get the imp, please? Alright. There. Jesus. Those Hell Knights are no joke, man. Alright. So we're gonna go back this way. And we're gonna go... We gotta go that way. But I wanna go this way. For this. I'm gonna get a little bit closer. There we go. Oh. I gotta go back. Hang on. Okay. So... yeah, I forgot about that. And then there's... I'll have to fast travel back for that. Doing this to get back to where I need to be. Yeah. Alright. So I'll have to fast travel back to get that codex entry that I forgot over here. That I forgot was there. Alright, so we're gonna go up this way. We'll go this way.
This Sentinel battery can be used to provide additional power to your ship.
Alright.
Several modules remain unused. Finding more batteries will enable you to utilize the full functions of your command station.
Plasma rifle. And it looks exactly like the original one, which I love. I absolutely love that it looks like the original plasma rifle from the classic vanilla game, from the classic, like, from Doom and Doom 2. So, designed by the UAC's military tech division, the plasma rifle is a standard in energy-based weaponry. Firing a superheated plasma in rapid short burst intervals, the plasma rifle is capable of overloading energy-based shielding and liquefying enemy combatants. All right. And there we go. Finally have something a little bit more powerful to hit to kill these Hell Knights with. Slop that down your throat real quick. Alright, there you go. There's, you see the secret. So we gotta get through there. But first, come here. Get my health back that he took. Alright. On a map. Yep, there we go. Extra life. I have 7. And so sadly we can't jump all in this goo, so we actually have to painfully, slowly and painfully walk. Alright, so we're gonna get something for the plasma rifle. I like the microwave beam. So, demons will explode on death. Bigger demon, bigger explosion. Good finisher for a heavily damaged demon. Consumes ammo quickly. Pro tips, deals bonus damage to energy shields. Maximize damage potential by using at medium to close range. Actually, we're gonna get the heat blast. Great finisher after a salvo of plasma rounds. So... let's read about the Revenant. The Revenant program, a bioweapon experiment utilizing reanimated necrotic human tissue, was believed to have been destroyed with the collapse of the UAC facility on Mars. However, the emergence of the cultist enclaves on Earth, former UAC deviations now under Hell's direct control, have begun work on a second wave of production of the Revenant program. While much of the platform's existing weapon payload is preserved as originally designed, the cyberneural programming has undergone modification. Pattern signals are wired to the host's frontal cortex, which in turn simulate a state of frenzied, unrestrained bloodlust. While these signals are active, the host is incapable of thinking or feeling anything but a singular compulsion to inflict death and violence on the living.
There is a Sentinel power core nearby. You can use it to activate the mech and clear a path forward.
Alright. So, there's one more thing we need to do before we activate this. Push that out the way. Come up here. To get an album, Doom at Doom's Gate. You can play these in your ship in the Fortress of Doom as you collect them. I believe I've gotten everything. Yeah, I have. Alright, so time to do this. Alright. History of the Sentinels, Part 2. Translation from the Book of Kings. In the time of grief, when King Etrix took the throne, a blessing came to the people of Argenta. White porcelain beings from a world above our own brought gifts to Daenerys. Observers to our great deeds, admirers of our convictions, they sought to make bond with our swords and bring lasting order to our world. These were beings unlike any we'd seen before. Sword and shield held no weight against them, for the ethereal flesh of these luminous beings seemed unbound by mortality. Able to move through time and space, they held sway over all dominions of the known and unknown dimensions. Through their ways, we grew stronger, our society bolstered by their infinite wisdom and all-knowing power, assuring our people's safety for all time, in this world and the next. Where we sharpened the blade and mastered our magic, they bolstered the soul and spirit. Death would no longer be the end of our people. The ones we call the Makers, our new allies in this brutal world, have given us the security and death we fought so hard to achieve in life. We would find eternal peace and our minds would rest easy with the knowledge that those we fought alongside in battle would join us in the lands beyond the mortal plane. The strength of our ways, the purity of our essence, would by Maker Law grant us passage to the great city in the clouds. There, our women and children, warriors and kin alike, would welcome us. We adopted the holy doctrines of the Makers, gifted in exchange with the chance to earn eternal rest for our immortal souls in blessed Urdak. The covenant we held now under the embrace of our new gods fostered a peace we had never known, for they were unlike the first ones, whose presence offered no paradise from fear and thus uncertainty of existence in a harsh and unforgiving world. The Maker's embrace was warm and guided us into an era of spiritual prosperity. Stand on that. Stand on that. Jump down and stand on this. But before we go anywhere, yeah, there we go. That is, yeah. It's essentially the megasphere, I think. And then we come up here after getting that, and up here, and step here. I like to snipe off his rockets while I'm up here. As well as turret on the Arachno. Give me that. Oink. All right, there we go. There's a secret encounter above me. This is a dash refill. Alright. Alright. And that's a Slayer Gate. That's the first Slayer Gate we need for the Endmaker. Alright, where is it? It's down there, okay. Yep, you just get a bunch of lost souls to kill. Alright, so let's go read about the lost soul. There it is. The lost soul has its origin among the damned, former humans who have fallen from the mortal world, doomed to an unliving eternity as sin-branded slaves of hell. The damned are seemingly endless in number, their populations growing by the thousands with each rise of the black sun. For many, the torturous existence of crushing slave labor is all that awaits. The bodies of the damned are brittle, and those who become broken in labor, their bodies ruined, dismembered, or otherwise incapable of servitude, or transported to the pits, where their souls must be extracted for further use. Those fortunate enough to escape this process are what inevitably become lost souls, their spirits transmogrified into physical form. The lost soul knows only madness, its memory a haunted image of its former mortal life. These creatures live a fleeting existence, roaming mindlessly, seeking only that which can grant them a final death. Alright. So let's look in the arsenal since we have some points now. Firing delay after using the heat blast is reduced by 25%. Right. So. I actually have to go down here. And when we can fast travel, we'll fast travel back and get that Codex entry we missed. Right, into the guts we go. Cannot for the life of me hit this guy. There we go. Couldn't make up my mind how I wanted to kill him. My bad. Armor. Okay, nothing that way. Punch it. Alright. Yoink. Look at that. And then we use it here. Into more guts we go. Come over here and get the crystal. So we're gonna finish off with the quick draw belch. Flame belch takes less time to cool down. You can do however you want. This is just how I do it. Yeah, you can even dash in this mess. And down he goes. Alright, there's an Electrotron in the distance. Let's go snipe that turret off so he can't snipe us. Whoop. Alright, oops. Alright, so there's a codex entry right here that we're going to grab real quick, and then I'm going to show you something else. History of the Sentinels, Part 3. Translation from the Book of Kings. With machine and enchantment of the makers, the Argenta brought our newfound clarity to the disparate realms of the Empyrean Void. We took flight with the support of our gods, spreading the enlightened word of the Con Maker. We discovered there was not one enemy, but many. Worlds and peoples unknown to the Argenta were unveiled, and we saw our own suffering reflected in their eyes. Our righteous army strode into battle under the banner of the Night Sentinels, and fought for the freedom of all peoples from the grasp of those who would exploit and prey upon them. Though we battled on soil not our own, the blood we shed in foreign lands safeguarded Argent Denur, and the sons and daughters that defended it. Through the strange peoples we liberated, new alliances were formed, and our beliefs became their own. Our army swelled. As the Argenta traversed the stars with gleaming war fleets, the Khan of the Makers approached King Roan on his throne. He sensed his god, restless by her disquiet manner. The king and Khan spoke, and the god revealed she had foreseen a schism in the blood of the Argenta. A test would be required to identify its host among us. She spoke of a holy rite to be performed on the strongest of our warriors. Only those that proved worthy would be tested, for the impurity could reside in only the most resilient of our legion. The divinity machine, a great tribute by Maker Scalaris, would help us to cleanse any impurities from our flock, ensuring our continued prosperity in this world and in the Maker realm that awaited in the afterlife. The malicious one, if not exhumed from our ranks, would jeopardize our safe passage to the heavenly realm of Erdak. The Dark One was not amongst them yet, nor would he be for many generations. Only the Mother God, through divination and the Maker sight, would determine when he stood before them. The Makers were truth, and only their unclouded eyes could find the one who was marked. The prophecy of the Unholy One was written, but through the ages, the warning grew faint until only the Khan Maker herself and the High Priest of the Order Deeg still whispered of he that would one day come to threaten their way of light. All right, 1 second. All right. So, we can't go that way, but we can go this way. Is it the other area? I think it was in the other area. Yeah. Alright, gonna wait for that to come back up. Okay. There was something I wanted to show you. I don't remember where exactly it's at. Alright, so there's the Slayer Gate. The key is up there and I can't get to it yet. So I'll show you how to get it. We come up here. Looks like we're going to progress. But then, we just come up here. Let's go to the Slayer Gate. I think those are the Dread Knights. Yep. And there we go. And you get a key. An Empyrean key. You need... You need a few of them. Alright. Dread Knight. A variation of the Hell Knight breed, the Dread Knight has been modified and hardwired for aggression. Armed with an exoprosthesis powering energy blade augments, the Dread Knight is the lethal result of UAC cultist engineering. Epinephrine regulators modulate the Dread Knight with an unbroken flow of rage-addled adrenaline, while its endorphin receptors have been synchronized to respond with the use of its arm-mounted blades. With each kill, the Dread Knight is injected with a flood of artificial dopamine. As a result of its augmentation, the Dread Knight is driven by a biochemically engineered state of pure, unbroken rage, a suffering for which respite can only be found in the act of the kill. Alright, so we've got some weapon points. I don't think we have enough to put into anything, so we're just not going to spend them right now. All right. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Alright, so we're gonna go this way because of that right there.
The betrayer's life signal is nearby.
And then there's... I think it's over there, actually. Yep, here it is. Cacodemon toy. You see it? Never mind. It's just a reflection. Alright. Alright.
There are motion sensors and artillery everywhere.
The Betrayer was first mentioned in 2016.
I told you all to leave me here. I am where I belong. Saving your people will not bring you peace. Only make the burden you carry worse. And now you seek to defy the Calm Maker herself. It is your people's time now to give penance, just as it was mine. Hear me, Slayer. When his heart is laid to rest, then his soul will be at peace. And so will mine.
Alright. So... let's go up here. There's nothing in here. Nothing. You're only in here for him. So, but up here is actually a Codex entry. The Betrayer. After years of prolonged war against the demonic threat invading their world, Argent launched an offensive strike across dimensions, sending their greatest warriors into the heart of hell itself. Despite their training and their preparedness, their honor was undone by deceit. Betrayal at the highest levels of command left Argent's bravest warriors cut off and scattered in the hellscape. But one of these last remaining Night Sentinels, only one remained in hell by choice. Betrayer of the Argenta, it was Commander Valen who relinquished the keys to the elemental sepulchre in return for his son's resurrection. Haunted by demonic visions, the image of his son's tortured existence plagued him without relent. The whispers of demons pushing him toward madness. In a moment of weakness, he fell prey to the demon's trickery, sealing the fate of Argentinur and dooming the kingdom to which he swore a lifelong oath to protect. Valen chose exile and the hellscape for his sacrilege. And up we go. Alright, so we just got one thing we're missing, and that's the Codex entry we have to go back for. But we got, I think, one more big fight. And then I think at that point we'll be able to fast travel. Oop, overshot it. Wait for it to come back up.
The extraction point has been identified. I will mark its location on your HUD.
Alright. So we're actually going to go around here because I want this one right here. For that extra life that you just let it drop down on. on. I think it's a quad damage. Come here. Yoink. There we go. Fast travel should be available now. Yeah, it is. Alright. So show fast travel. We need to go up to Exultia. Yeah, we need to go back to the central rotunda. Alright. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it back. Alright. Yeah, here's the Codex entry we missed. King Novik. King Novik ruled over Sentinel Prime for many years as its warrior patriarch, ordained protector of the sovereign Sentinel worlds. The Sentinel people, defined by a legacy of war, deem only those of warrior caste befit to rule, and in times of battle it is expected that the king lead from the battlefield rather than from the safety of the throne. As it is written in Sentinel law, a king unfit for battle is likewise unfit to rule. For millennia, the Sentinel people have secured their civilization against the threat of invasion from beast and human alike, passing on the mantle of battle to each subsequent generation and refining the craft of war into an art of ultimate mastery. Even in times of peace, the Night Sentinels remain vigilant, developing new technologies of conquest, each the more capable of securing their dominion across the sovereign worlds. Alright, but we have enough weapon points now that we can put into something, and I want to put it into the precision bolt. So precision bolt reload speed increased by 20%. Into mastery, we got to get 75 precision bolt headshot kills, which we will start working on. But we've gotten everything, so now we can do what we need to do and leave, because I'm pushing an hour now on this mission. All right. What the hell? There we go. And there we go. And there we have it. That is everything for Mission 2, Exultia. I'll see you in the next video.